All right, I got a hard one for you guys. This is Maniac Doomcross, as I am calling it, and I desperately want this deck to work so badly, so badly. And I got asked like one of the hardest questions I think I've been asked ever with a deck. What do you want to do with this deck? What do you want to do with this game? Is really what the question felt like. Guys, I'm gonna level with you. You know what I want to do? I want to play the Femur of Tumblr. I want to play it in a meaningful way. I want to play it in a way that feels good. And I want to utilize the fact that you can get it with Magic the Smith. And I want to utilize the fact that it can be cheaper with the British Museum. That's what I want to do with this deck. It's really all I want to do with this deck. But I thought, what's better than the Femur of Tumblr? Two Femur of Tumblr, right? Who wouldn't want two Femur of Tumblr? And if you can have two Femur of Tumblr, what about Femur of Tumblr at home? Can we do that as well? But then I started thinking, well, if I'm going to have equipment and I'm going to go search for equipment, maybe people should have something to protect them a little bit because they don't have fortitude. They have thaumaturgy. It's a blood sorcery. Again, going to keep doing that. It's not intentional, I promise. But then I thought, well, maybe they want intercept. And I think you see where this starts to go. The problem is you just start getting the big things and you're not playing fortitude. You're not playing native unlocks. Brooder's Hand, or Magic the Smith, is a really fun, very powerful card in VTS. But it comes with that limitation, that same limitation that we're all used to. Action economy. And when you're playing a deck that is bringing out, if I get everything I want, if it's Magical Christmas Land, right? I'm at 22 Blood and Vampires. And even if I got a British Museum, 24, 25, 26, maybe free. Like, I've spent a lot of pool and not gotten it back. Recently, I added some Villains. If you see this video after the deck where I lose my mind part of the way through because I did not export, these came in after I had made those changes, or these came in as the change that were supposed to be in that deck. The Villains were supposed to be there. I had changed to Sense the Savage Ways as my unlock mechanic. I don't even know that this deck really wants to unlock. Like, the trouble here that I have is this equipment package seems so good. It seems so tasty, fun, delicious. But it's kind of bad if I'm low on pool, if I can't Villain, if I'm stuck having to pay for all these guys out of pocket. You really don't want to be in that situation. There's some cool stuff to be done here. Like being able to Warsaw gives us a Magic of the Smith that also unlocks us. If we can put a Rootor's Hand on somebody, that's good value. But this and this, this and the Villain with 7 and 8 caps, that's what we call a non-bow there. Doesn't do what you want it to do. So like I keep falling back on maybe Crossbreaker is the weak point for what I want to do with this deck. I also think that this is just nice to have, right? But she's not really doing any heavy lifting here. So it might just have to be this duo with some random snot bags running around. I don't know. I'm really torn here. I think Crossbreaker's not going to make the cut. I think he's really cool. Don't get me wrong. Crossbreaker looks badass. Seems pretty badass. I will say that, like, I don't care for the fact that he is, I don't know, where's his Nosferatu thing, right? I think there's something going on in his face over here. We seem to be getting much more normal looking Nosferatu. Because this guy would just pass for somebody who's got like a scar. And that's not really, I don't know. No offense, TNAs. I love your art. I think you do a great job. A lot of the work you do is really, really good. Um, just, I think this is a design thing. Uh, more ugly Nosferatu, please. More really ugly Nosferatu, please. But yeah, so I think that's kind of the magic I'm looking for here. Do we say no more crosses? We don't need crosses. We broke the cross. Maybe we leave her in here. Maybe what's the other new buddies from Path of Cain? Any of these guys interesting? Lawbringer. I don't know. But that also means we drop the Warsaw station, which gives us a little less action economy. But that's probably fine because it's 2 pool we can't really afford. Um, it'd be kind of nice, I think, to have a second Banu Hakim in here. Prefer them to be titled, but I'd like to have them be on brand. So maybe we run that, and then we up them by 1. Who do we really want more? I don't know. Maybe we do this. But I feel like that's going to result in. Let's see. Let's use some tools here. Oh, nope. That's not what I thought it was. I forget where the thing is. It's under decks, right? Decks. Draw cards. Look it. This is where we run into the problem. We're gonna get like trips and not insignificant number of times. But I think it's worth trying to play it out that way. This might be better to give it a shot. Dropping the Warsaw stations then, obviously. Gonna do us a lot of good. Keep out a lot of the rest of the package. I think the sports bikes are bad. We'll drop the sports bike. It seems like a fun strategy, right? To get a sports bike out on one of them, have them unlock from the Sense the Savage Way, get in some blocks. But really, how much blocking are we going to do with 1, maybe 2 intercept here, right? Like, I don't think that it's enough intercept to make a realistic difference in the game in most cases. You can block here your little actions, but anything we need to block is just probably not happening. And besides, we really should just be like abusing our power and dunking people as frequently as possible. We have Under Siege. That should carry us some amount of the way as well. I feel like the coolers are good. Let's drop the Bundi. Don't really need to have that. I like the Kevlar vests. I feel like they should stay. But the problem is that as I've run this deck, it's still a lot of pool lost. But we are kind of thinning out the deck as we go, because some of what we're cutting we don't necessarily have to replace. Or we could replace with a couple little things, like another Abuse of Power, maybe 2. Make sure we have it on hand. Do we run the Rutor's Hand, or do we just count on Museum or NRA Pack? Just feel like neither of these give us enough of the momentum we need. But I do like the Kevlar vests. I do feel like that, plus your Rigo modems, plus your Wall of Filths, gives you enough damage prevention that you should be able to survive most of the stuff you're likely to play against. Protected resources is nice because we're really probably not bleeding out. The goal here is to fame, which is why I don't want to drop the Ritual Goblet either. Maybe this deck would be interesting with the Depravity. Can't believe I did not think about that. Let's throw that down there as well. Depravity is really good in a lot of cases, and we're probably not going to recruit any allies or retainers here in this game. I like the Filter's Pawn Shop as well. This is nice, especially with British Museum. Fun little way to not have to pay the bonus cost, get your stuff back, especially your client-specific stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to continue to try to run this a little bit more, like to be around 78, I think, and see where this goes. But kind of want feedback from you guys as to whether or not you think this looks stable, whether or not you've got any thoughts on what I can add, what I can change, whether or not you think it's a pile of crap. I'm not going to feel offended if you call it a pile of crap, because I know that as of late, I've not been in a very optimized state. I've been in a lot of ideas state. Look at my deck list, and there's often at least one or two or seven just decks labeled new decks, and you go in there and it's got something in there, but it's not very good, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it, um, or this weird thing. So a lot of the decks are still conceptual. This one is a little more physical than I expected to be, more tangible than I thought it would be. So yeah, so thoughts are always encouraged. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much. Take care.